If I win the honor of serving as Prime Minister, the Northern Gateway Pipeline will not happen.
This decision will immediately be set aside by an NDP government in 2015 as failing with regard to the environment, failing with regard to the economy, and failing with regard to social obligations, especially those regarding First Nations.
Yeah, NDP government. So the federal government, the real government, has announced the Northern Gateway Pipeline project can go ahead. BC project, $7 billion proposal, faced opposition from environmentalists and some, but by no means all, First Nations groups and Labour activists. Professor Ian Lee is from the Sprott School of Business. He joins us now from Ottawa. A good and great day?
I think so. It's a good day for Canada. This is a major infrastructure project. Everybody is celebrating infrastructure. It's the new Holy Grail. That's why I find it so astonishing that the opposition parties that have been banging the drum so strongly, correctly, for more infrastructure investment, suddenly see a huge infrastructure investment and then they run for the tall grass in the mountains, notwithstanding the benefits it's going to come to bring to Canada. Michael, I just want to put some quick facts on the table because watching the reaction has just been astonishing for me. I want to put some basic facts on the table for all Canadians. Pipelines have been in Canada since 1853. That is 161 years ago. There are 830,000 kilometers of pipelines crisscrossing this country in every province, including British Columbia. They are acting as if they have suddenly discovered this thing called pipelines. They've been around much longer than any of us have been alive in the current generations in Canada. And they're very, very safe. More people die in bicycle accidents annually, about 50 people in Canada, than die in pipeline incidents. So should we ban the bicycle in Canada? 11 people died in avalanches annually. Should we ban people from going in the mountains? 2,000 people a year in Canada die in automobile accidents. Nobody is suggesting we ban the automobile. 500 people a year die in drowning incidents, tragically, in lakes and rivers and pools. Nobody is suggesting we ban people going to lakes and rivers and pools. And finally, about 200 people a year, pedestrians, die walking. Now, we're not going to ban walking in Canada. There is risk associated with everything we do in this world, and pipelines are one of the safest of those activities.
Well, Mulcair might ban walking, we don't know. Look, I mean, Mulcair is irrelevant, with all due respect. He's going to lose seats. He's never going to form a government. But Justin Trudeau is a major issue. And what he said there, at least his people told him to say, if he becomes Prime Minister, it all closes, it all stops. Now, that will cost an enormous amount of money, do huge damage, but it could happen.
It could, and there's another point I want to bring up, because both parties are saying, oh, well, it's only $8 billion, implying that that's the totality of the benefit of the Gateway project. And they're saying, well, it's 500 jobs, implying that's the totality of the benefit. No, 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 and no again. This is merely a tool to allow us to get billions and billions and billions of dollars of oil out to the coast to send to Asia, which is where the world economy is growing the fastest. It is, I've said this to my own students, Europe is Canada's past, America is Canada's present, but Asia is Canada's future. And I'm afraid the opposition parties are turning their back on Canada's future.
Well, they seem to have no grasp of what the next 20, 30 and 40 years will be. And other countries, you mentioned Asia, they understand the future realities of the world economy, but Mr. Trudeau and Mulcair simply don't.
Well, I know that's my point. And, you know, they invoke President Obama, and environmentalists have been in cahoots with this, if you will, because everyone's been saying, the NGOs, the environmental NGOs and the American critics have been saying, we've got to follow the American lead. We've got to become more environmentally responsible. Well, I looked up the data from none other than President Obama's Department of Energy, the Energy Information Agency, EIA. Anybody can look it up, EIA.gov. Canada's per capita GHG emissions are below the United States per capita. Of course, they have much larger absolute emissions because they're the largest economy in the world. But when you do it on a per person basis, we are still below because, of course, they're sourcing 20% of their total energy from coal. We're only sourcing 7% from coal, and we both source the same amount from oil. So, of course, we're going to be cleaner. So, if anything, the Americans should be following Canada's lead because we are empirically, factually cleaner per person than the Americans in terms of GHG.
It's good to hear, and it is, as I say, a very, very great day. Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure. Thank you, Michael.